Hi there and welcome back to the channel. You know, a lot of photographers think that great editing is all about special effects and color grading and Photoshop tricks and all of that. But for this image and this entire series, I barely did any of that. In fact, I really didn't do much editing at all. Instead, I spent most of my time removing more than 40 small little distractions, and you probably wouldn't even know they were there, but they were driving me nuts. So what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to go through from start to finish, show you all the distractions that are in this image, and then I'm going to show you how I fix them in Lightroom and Photoshop. So let's jump in. Okay, so not all the distractions were in all of the images, but this one had quite a lot, and we're going to go through and break it down one by one. Now, can you even find some of the distractions that I'm talking about? A couple are pretty obvious, but not all of them. So the first thing is that you can see where my white paper backdrop ends. So that's a really easy fix. So I'm just going to go into the develop module, I'm going to go into the remove tool, and I'm going to click the remove. And what I'm going to do is add to that, click remove. I know it doesn't make sense the way they've worded that, but anyway. And the distractions that I was talking about are not even these ones. So let's just get rid of those, and then we've got a sort of clean slate to go through. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you the distractions that I am talking about. Okay, so let's jump in. Have a look at the gun. So this was just a Nerf gun that I bought from, a toy store, and I spray painted it silver. You can still see where it says made in China. There's all the screws and the screw holes and all the rest of it. So they were something that I wanted to fix up straight away. There was also some runs in the paint. So that was something else that I needed to fix. There's also a flash in the background that needs to be removed as well. Now, her nails, so on her fingernails, she needed a bit of a manicure, so I needed to fix those. And again, over here. There's also some discoloration on her finger where she removed one of her rings. On her boots, there are scuff marks, and there is some pink paint, so there's quite a few scuff marks on her boots. So I'm going to go through and fix those up. There is also the tape here on her boot that needs fixing. It doesn't quite match up there. There's another issue. And there's another little issue here. So there's actually like 4 there. I was thinking it was just the 2, but there's more. Then there's the background that we've already fixed up, and then there's scuff marks on the floor. So many. When you're using paper, sometimes you get scuff marks. It shows up every piece of dirt, discoloration, like here, scuff marks, scuff marks, scuff marks, more scuff marks. So there is a lot to deal with. So let's break it down. We already got rid of the background using the remove tool. Let's come in, and going back to the remove tool, let's go and remove the flash. And you can go through and you can see if there's any better version. I think that one's actually a better version. Now there's something else that I just realized on this image as well. There's also where the tape had come off her legs. It removed some of her tan, so I'm just going to subtract that as well. So there's another one. And that did a pretty good job of that. Now let's see what we can do here. That did a pretty good job. No, it didn't do a very good job on that one at all. Okay, so I'm going to leave that one. I'm going to try and do what I can in Lightroom, and then there's just some things that I'm going to have to go into Photoshop for. Okay, so the boot, I think I'm going to have to go into Photoshop and go into Liquify. But let's get rid of some of these ones on the floor. Okay, so there's still more marks and things like that that I could remove, but what I'm going to do is go and have a look at some more that needs fixing. So there's still plenty more. It's just Lightroom's a bit slow, so I'm going to let it just handle a couple more things, and then I'm going to take it into Photoshop to do some of the rest. Okay, so from here, I'm just going to take it into Photoshop. So edit in, and I have to go as a smart object because that's just how my Photoshop is at the moment. What else do we need to get rid of? So let's have a look at the gun. So I'm going to go over to my Magic Eraser tool. Paint all those in and then let Photoshop do its thing. And they're gone. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with the same tool and I'm just going to tidy her nails up. They look pretty good. Let's go and have a look at the other hand. Okay, the discoloration of her skin. Now there's a few dots and things that I can get rid of on the background here just while I'm there and I can see them. There is another really quick and easy way to get rid of them as well. Not worried about those bigger ones there. There's a bit of stuff that she's picked up off the floor on her leg. Another scuff. Okay, the boots. Again, more scuffs, so I'm going to get rid of those. Scuff there, scuff there. Like I said, when you add it all in together, it's suddenly quite a lot that needs to be fixed up. Okay, now let's take a look at the tape. So I'm going to grab my lasso tool. And I'm going to make a copy. And then I'm going to grab my transform tool and warp. No, that's not doing what I want it to do. So let's go into Liquify. That's made that a little bit better. So we've got the tape there that I could come and just going to merge them. Just got another distraction there. We'll come back and do this later. Now I'm going to show you quick and easy ways to get rid of some of these larger areas. Again, just with my lasso tool. I'm going to go over to the left. I'm just going to grab an area, right click and go fill, content aware, done. Right click, fill, content aware, done. Just keep doing it and it'll quickly and easily get rid of all those spots on the background. sometimes it will take spots from somewhere else. So what you might need to do is just go and do a different selection. Sometimes if you pick too large an area, it doesn't necessarily do a brilliant job. I mean, I could go and remove each one of those little marks one at a time, but I just find that I think in general this is a quicker and easier way to do it. I probably could have too, because it's just plain white, I probably could have come in and with a white brush and painted over them as well, but again, that can take a bit of time. Okay, so I think that is pretty much it. So that's the floor, the boots, the scuffs on boots, the finger discoloration, her nails, the gun, the tape on the legs, the background. Remove the flash. Just hit Control D to fix that up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this bit. I'm going to go into generative fill. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to click generate, and let's see if generative fill can fix that up for us. Definitely not that one. Definitely not that one. That one's not too bad, I suppose. Is it something that you're going to notice in the sheet? Probably not. So, and we're going to keep that like that. Now, I've done all of that before I've even started doing any retouching or fixing her hair or anything like that. So just let's have a little look. There's a couple of little flyaways. I have, again, I'm just going to merge those. I've again just picked up my little heel tool, and there's a few marks and scratches, a couple of flyaway hairs. There's a couple of little pimples and things like that to get rid of. A few little flyaways. But in general, that's pretty good. So this is the image virtually finished, and all I have to do is a quick little retouching. So I might just even come in. Let's see if we can clean this little area up a bit. Let's see what generative fill does on this. Definitely not that one. Definitely not that one. Is it better before or better after? I think it's probably better after. So that's it for removing distractions. I can then come in and I can edit it. And this was stuff that pretty much appeared on every image. So we had, did you even notice them? The flash, that was an easy one. The background where it didn't quite cover the whole scene, that was an easy one. But the tape on the leg, the gun, her fingernails, the discoloured finger, all the scuffs and marks on her boots, the tape on her boots, all the scuffs on the floor. All in all, I counted up more than 40. It's probably even more than that. So taking this image and cleaning up those distractions, maybe you probably wouldn't even know that they were there in the final image, but it was something that was bugging me. And sometimes if you have just minor fixes that you need, I mean, none of these changes were dramatic. Most viewers wouldn't even notice they were there if I put the image up on Facebook or whatever. But together they help transform a photo into somebody standing or sitting in front of a backdrop into a believable character story. I go in from here, do a little retouching, and in a couple of the images I even added a little bit of colour to the blaster and things like that, so it looked like there was a flash coming out of the blaster. So that's it. Can you spot all the differences now? This is the before and the after. So that's it for this video. I hope you find that helpful. Leave your comments down below if there's anything that you want to comment on this image or this series. Don't forget to check out the gallery on the website. You can see all the cool images there. And thanks for watching. I will see you next time on YouTube. Bye.
Evil master.